And thank you, Queen Boaz, Susan Jean, for once again being the catalyst for understanding and clarity. Boy, you did it. You've done it several times. Once it stands out is with Christians' adoption, our adoption into the Jewish genealogy via grafting on the olive tree, the adoption via grafting, the adoption. You brought that to my attention. So we're Jews adopted via Jesus' sacrifice. Perfect one. Thank you. And most recently, in a discussion we had, you were kind enough to divulge some things, and it brought me to this correction that I failed. I spoke it to you, Your Honor. This is for the Honorable Yosef Edery and the Queens, whomever else chooses to watch. I said that Saint Paul, a Jew, recorded Jew. We'll get to Saint Paul when it comes to Tobias Singer, a Jew. But I have been stating that 70 apostles failed. No. Thank you, Susan. They didn't fail. You see, they went out for this bastard, as he's called in some of the Jewish circles, a bastard. This bastard sent out 70. What happened? Well, not only did these original Christians die horrific, violent deaths after the remains of many of Reb Shua's apostles and some more famous original missionaries. 70, he had 72, like Sanhedrin, 72, were morbidly desecrated by separating the body parts of the corpses. Many body parts, such as the apostles' and disciples' skulls and bones, ended up under the altars in the Catholic and Orthodox churches. Yeah. And they got a list of the cities they went out to. So along with all the 70s getting killed, we don't want to hear it. Perfection, don't sin, we don't want to hear it. Be kind, be gentle, we don't want to hear it. New guy on the block, we don't want to hear it. And then along with those deaths, if you read early Christian fathers, which I suggested people do, Diogenes, Eusebius especially, because he's carrying on a conversation with Christian martyr schools. So back then they had to die to spread the word of something new. We got something new. I'm glad I don't have to go out in the community and say, hey, you're perfect. We've had a little bit of taste of what can happen. Anyway, so I failed there, but it led me to think about we want Moshy. We want Moshy that I'm hearing on YouTube. Everybody wants Moshy. Moshy's coming. It's the end times. And what I consider some deflection going on. I mentioned when I first heard about this name Moshiach as a Christian, I wanted to get to the bottom of it, and I called a synagogue. I started calling synagogues actually, and I experienced a couple things, Your Honor. First and foremost, I did get a honorable rabbi that answered the phone, and he wanted to clean his hands immediately of any guilt with Jesus. I didn't care. The Romans killed Jesus. The Jews didn't. Okay, sure. I didn't say anything, and he had to leave. Subsequent calls, all goys, all Christians answering the phone. None of them knew who Mashiach was. We want Mashiach. We want Mashiach. Let's fill our synagogues with Christians that don't know who Mashiach is. Oh, along with that, when I read Tobias Singer's YouTube about St. Paul never spoke to Jesus, which is everything, I placed a call to here in Chicago, a synagogue, and then the police A policeman called me back. A Christian complaining about what a Jewish rabbi is saying, and I get the police called on me. Just trying to learn. Yep. Constantly berating Christians. This Noahite. Unity, yeah, sure. But the irony, what if God wanted to experience what has been experienced by the Jewish faith? Obstinate, I called it. And Susan and I often talking about the sense of humor of Abba. I thought this Moshy, wouldn't it serve the Jewish people right to, if Moshy ever appears, when and if, that he would serve Moshe up as a Christian? That would be funny. Well, it would create balance, wouldn't it? I mean, what are you going to do with these 2 billion? You still haven't answered that question yet. No, you haven't. That to me would be, oh boy, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? No, F word. I mean, that would create balance. I can see Papa doing that, creating balance in the fam between the oldest brother and the youngest brother. How are we going to do that? We're going to have time together with something. Older brother going to have to accept something about younger brother. Older brother going to have to accept something about younger brother. And then when that acceptance comes in, and all peace. Even talking about descending from the clouds, being up in the clouds, brought you a fix for the economy, brought you a fix for the economy, brought you a fix for the spirit world. We said perfect, we're perfect. You go out there and you go out and work with the rest of those Christians now, okay? Yeah, it seems to me you Jews and you Christians, I'm generalizing. The average Jew and the average Christian, you deserve each other in your quandary of what's it all about? What's it all about? What's I got here? Sacred document, we've already done this, But Jews got this. They're waiting for Moshy. Moshy, hurry, come quickly, Moshy. We want you. Is that you? What is it?